Can you just talk about winning what was kind of a strange game and what was definitely a strange season?
You know, when we came out to the practice field on Monday and watched how the guys responded from a difficult week last week, we all knew that they're going to come out and play hard, because I said it all week. And,
Right. Yeah.
You know, they care about their teammates. They care about their performance, and that was evident in how they competed tonight. I mean, there wasn't an ounce. Nobody flinched the entire week, and you know, SC is a very talented team. We knew that, and they showed it tonight. But I thought our guys just came out and played extremely hard, and couldn't be more proud of the entire team, but especially the veteran guys that played their final game here at Memorial.
Can you talk about there's three defensive plays that really kind of turned the game for you? The Pastor's long touchdown return, the strange play at the goal line where the ball was snapped to the tight end, it seemed like, and then the play where you leveled their quarterback and he fumbled it. Can you just talk about the defense making timely plays in this game?
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, the fumble return for a touchdown was obviously a huge play in the game, and then the fourth down stop there in the low red zone, and then the forced fumble that Lou picked up. I think maybe Daniel Scott that caused that one, but yeah, huge plays, because you know, they can move the ball. They've scored a lot of points on people this year, and those were the type of plays needed tonight by the defense. And just hats off to the defenders and the coaches for putting them in a position to do that.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll move next to Steve Croner. Steve?
Just in kind of a little historical perspective, I'm sure you probably know that this is the first time you guys have beaten SC in Berkeley since 2003. It's also the first time you've beaten SC in Stanford in the same season since 2003. What does that mean to you and to the rest of the program?
You know, Steve, I did not know that. Either one of those facts. And we don't really talk about that. You know, we came out on Monday and knowing that SC's got a very talented roster, regardless of, you know, the circumstances with their team, and they proved it tonight. They're a very talented group. But you know, we really just kind of focused on practicing hard and trying to play better, and we did at times. And you know, it wasn't perfect by any means, but it kind of goes back to the competitiveness and how much the guys care about their teammates, man. I think the effort is a great indicator of how one guy feels about the rest of the team, you know, how hard they play. And I felt like the guys just played extremely hard and competed all night. And so I'm really proud of them for that.
If I could ask you to give kind of a bigger picture assessment of the season, and maybe even, you know, where you think the program stands right now. Obviously, in the middle of the season, things did not look so good.
Yeah.
5-7 isn't great, but certainly pretty solid after 1-5. How do you assess this season?
Well, yeah, the start of the season, we had some difficult losses. There's no doubt about that. Games that we were in position to win with a couple, you know, really a few of those, or 4 or 5 of them. It's one play on either side of the ball that could have turned it. And we fell short there, and that was disappointing. And we all expected, as I mentioned, to put ourselves in position and win those games, and we didn't. But the one thing that was apparent was, the guys in the locker room, the guys on the practice field and in meetings didn't flinch. They, drove on and, tried to do what we were asking them to do. And that's why, we love these guys so much, is because their effort, their intent, and it showed up. We came out of the bye week and started playing much better, put together a couple really good games back to back, and then unfortunately had the interruption with COVID. Nobody saw that coming. Those things are really out of our control, and then we kind of gathered everybody back up and finished the season. And I just incredibly proud of who the guys are as people. And again, we're 115 or so on the team. Nobody's perfect, but the the guys should be commended on their attitude and effort. And we all, want more wins. And I think we were in position to get them. We didn't quite get them, but doesn't diminish the fact that the guys are doing the right things off the field. They're doing the right things to prepare. And I think what the seniors have done is laid an unbelievable foundation and groundwork for some of these younger players and the rest of us to continue to live up to the standards and raise the bar.
Congrats tonight.
Thank you.
And we'll next go to Jasper Sundin with the Daily Cal. Jasper?
Hey, Coach. You talked a little bit about the season. I just wanted to ask about your thoughts on your offense being outgained by more than 100 yards by USC.
My thoughts on the offense. Would you say it was? I haven't looked at all the statistics.
You're fine. On USC outgaining Cal by more than 100 yards. Excuse me.
Yeah. I'm sure we probably could have done a couple things better on defense. I think there was a couple third downs that we could have got off the field and didn't. I'm sure there's a couple plays on offense we could have done a little bit better. The guys competed very hard. We caused some turnovers. Our offense put together some timely drives for touchdowns, and we were able to come out victorious. And have a lot of respect for USC and the ability of their players. But we were able to get the win. So that's what I think about it.
Absolutely. And then how did I think Jackson Dart's injury change the game? USC quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, it's an unfortunate part of the game. We don't want to see anybody get injured. I don't exactly know the extent of the injury. It looked like he, ducked on one of our players over there, and there was a big collision. So, the next quarterback had to come into the game, and he's a talented player as well. But unfortunate part of the game for everybody. We've had injuries as well.
And then one more, if I could. Who stood out to you tonight on your team?
Oh yeah, I think I could kind of pick a bunch of guys. Offensively, some big timely plays by Chase, Chris Brooks. The wideouts made some big third down catches. Defensively, the scoop and score was a big play for everybody involved. The fourth down stop in the low red zone was huge. And then the sack fumble. So those were all big plays in the game. And I don't know if there was one person, but a number of guys that really contributed.
Okay, we'll move on next to Trace Travers. Trace, go ahead.
Yeah, Coach, I think even though it was late in the game, Elijah made one of the more petty plays I've seen to recover that final onside kick. What can you say about him and what kind of future he has potentially at the next level?
The hands team is really the guys on the team, minus O-line and QBs. They usually don't play in the hands team, but the guys that everybody trusts the most, because when they run out there, we know what kind of play is coming. I mean, it is a critical play. So you see who's front and center right there, Elijah Hicks, and he's done that for 4 years. I mean, the guy, he's a hell of a football player. He's an even better person. He's the guy that you want when it's the onside kick to be the guy making the decision and the guy that needs to make the play, because he'll find a way to make it. And it was a really smart play because he stepped forward so they couldn't hit him, and then he recovered the ball, so he's protected in that. And he knew it. He ran off the field and was saying it. So. I think Elijah's got a future playing football. There's no doubt. I love the guy to death. I mean, I could sit here and go through all these guys, that played their final game tonight. They've just done so much for our program. And, all of them, certainly we want more victories, but they've done a heck of a job in their time here and what they've done on the field. How people perceive the program in terms of the quality of human beings that are in it. And it's all about those guys. And I just couldn't be more thankful to have been around them for this number of years.
Yeah. And on another note for you, what do the next few weeks look like for you and your coaching staff as you go through the recruiting process and guys make decisions on whether to come back or not?
Yeah, so there's a lot going on, Trace, as you can imagine. We're on the road recruiting starting tomorrow. A lot of miles this week, a lot of flights, discussions with guys that we're recruiting, potential transfers, and then our players. There's a handful of guys that got decisions to make, and we're going to support them through that process. And it's a dynamic environment. There's a lot going on right now for the next 10 days or so, and for some of the guys making decisions, it'll be beyond that. But we're going right into recruiting mode, and the rest of the guys are getting ready for finals.
Thanks, and happy Sunday.
All right. Thanks, Trace. You too.
Okay, we've got time for 2 more questions. We'll have one from David Bush and then a last one from Steve Kroner. So David, go ahead.
Yeah, Coach, Chase didn't throw the ball a whole lot tonight for a lot of reasons, but he completed a huge percentage of his passes, and he also did some things with his leg. How would you evaluate both his performance tonight and his season as a whole?
17 for 20. That's what I got right here.
Yeah.
So that's really efficient. And as he's done in his career here, he's made plays with his legs and some big ones. Chase has gotten better and better, really his entire career here. And he did the same tonight. And to finish with that efficiency and making key plays to win, we didn't have the ball a lot. And really in the first half, there was a limited number of possessions. And in the second half, we didn't get a lot going in the third quarter offensively, kind of stubbed our toe a couple times, but the key drive there after the fumble to put a drive together, I think we had, 3 or 4 plays that were first down, right in a row. And then Chris put it in, a key drive in the game. And, he had a lot to do with that. So it's been awesome to watch him continue to improve as a senior. You don't see that all the time.
Thank you.
And we'll go one last question to Steve Kroner. Steve?
Yeah, just in kind of a follow-up on that. I mean, there obviously are, I don't know, half a dozen or how many guys who don't know if they're coming back or not. As a head coach, I would imagine, when you have a senior or you have seniors, you have a specific thing you want to say to them, thanking them. With these half a dozen guys whom you don't know, do you have to say something a little bit different?
No, we've had our moments here this week, and we had a team meeting last night, where seniors got a chance to address the team and say what they felt like they needed to say. And they're telling you there wasn't a dry eye in there. And some of these guys do have decisions, and it's possible that we'll have some of them back, but we had everybody participate in senior day just because, there is some uncertainty and they're not quite sure. They have to get information and kind of go process it for them. And so we our role in this is to help them through it and get any information we can to help them make that decision. I've tried to not recruit them as hard just because it's a tough decision. There's a lot to consider, and we'll help them with, again, any information that'll help them make that decision. But I'd be lying if I say I didn't kind of, maybe say a thing or two about getting them all to come back. But.
Yeah. Pardon my ignorance. What is their deadline?
Well, they have some time. They have some time, but I think most guys are going to, I don't want to speak for them, but most guys here in the next couple of weeks are going to kind of want to have some ideas of which direction they're going, just because they need to have a plan, and all these guys are so driven and they live by schedules and they need to know what's next. And I think being in flux is difficult. So they'll have some meetings, they'll talk to their families, get the information that they need to make those decisions. We've kind of prepared academically to keep their options open for them. But I would imagine it's going to come, in the next couple of weeks or so.
Fair enough. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.